Welcome to Sleepdrunk.
Where it's been a minute.
Yes.
And that it has been. I think it's been, a month since we last recorded? Just about?
Actually, yeah, it's been pretty close.
Yeah, a lot has happened at that time, so we're just going to do a little New Year's discussion. First off, happy holidays, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus, whatever you celebrate. A happy day off from work.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Happy New Year's. I hope everyone had a great holiday season. I know I did.
But dude, I'm Chinese.
When is Chinese New Year's, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, happy December.
Happy real New Year. Got him.
Happy day
You
off
don't like
from
other
work.
people's cultures. We don't like yours.
Today on Sleep Drunk. Okay, so because it's been about a month, we're gonna do a little Discussion Avenue XL, as we usually do in Discussion Avenue Holiday Edition. I've gone through a lot, so if you don't mind, I think I'll take the head on this one. So in the past month, I have flown. I'm in India now. I'm visiting my family. I'm here for another week. It has been a little while since I've been here, hasn't it? Also, is one of the reasons for the subpar audio quality. It might be a little bit echoey because I've had family over. I've had my little cousins and my uncle and aunt over, and so I haven't had time to get my usual recording set up. So I'm just on my desk, which has stuff on it, so it's a little bit dampening. It has 11 bags of coffee, which I'll get into later. 11 bags of coffee. So it has that, and so it's dampening. But I think I'm going to focus the bulk. Actually, no, here's what I'll do. Since we're running a little bit tight on time, I'm going to go brief overview, and then next episode, I'll go more into what I'm about to talk about. So chronologically, we wrapped up finals, I think, the day we recorded. It was the day before my last final, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was
I think that might have been the case as well.
Yeah, because my last one was on that Tuesday. So it was before that. So I finished up finals, and then I think after my econ final, which was my last one, I came back to our apartment, went to my room, just got my stuff out. Then Murphy's Law kicked in, and I have a wired desk organizer that has a lot of stuff on it, like tons of stuff, books, and I took my Xbox off of it, but just Rubik's Cubes, Magic decks, and about 10 minutes before I was getting ready to head out to my uncle's place, because I had a flight in the morning, it fell over. Because Murphy's Law is so that fell over. Luckily, my wonderful roommate Michael and his wonderful girlfriend, who was over, helped me clean it up, which was nice. I broke a mug, which when I get back, I'll have to repair.
That was like your mug?
Yeah, my mug. I've broken it before, and so I kind of like the cracked look, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it until it can no longer hold liquid. But all of the pieces are in a Ziploc bag on my desk. So that was that. So I think I finished my final, and then in under 24 hours, I was on a plane, I think. Or in just about in under 12 hours, I was on a plane. I think 11 hours and change. So what happened was I got in my car. No, I didn't get in my car. My uncle came and picked me up. I went to his place, and then I got a very large duffel bag, which we affectionately call my body bag. It could literally hold a body. It's a very large duffel bag, and I got it so it could accommodate my tenor saxophone. So I packed all that stuff. By the time I packed my duffel bags, I had it sent to their place. By the time I packed it up, had everything set, it was 2 a.m., so I got 2 hours of sleep, because it takes me a little while to fall asleep, like it just does. So I managed to get to sleep. I slept for 2 hours, and then bright and early 5 in the morning, I got up, got ready, headed to the airport at 6, and then got on a nice long plane ride, which was quite uneventful, actually. I watched The Mandalorian.
I was going to say, at least you had, 2 long-ass plane rides to catch up on all that sleep you missed.
I have a lot of trouble sleeping on planes. It's really difficult for me to sleep on planes.
You also have Bose, so...
No, it's not even that. It's just, the environment. I just have trouble falling asleep in the environment.
Man, you're a sensitive sunflower.
I am. No, it's just one of the things where, it's like that for my brother, too. Some people just can't sleep on planes. That's just how it is. They just can't. And I got some sleep, but I don't... First off, when I do fall asleep, I don't get good sleep. I just kind of, don't even fully go to sleep. I just sort of become, hit 30% consciousness. So
it's
I think about it.
Me sitting in Honors 240 at 5:30 p.m. after my Vyvanse is not there anymore.
Yeah.
Just kind of head bobbing.
Yep. But
there's a sick concert that's happening that's not happening.
But But I had that long flight. I watched The Mandalorian, which is also a great series, highly recommend. Then got to India. I was here for 2 days. Then I got on a flight to Bangkok and spent a number of days in Thailand, which I think I was planning on.
Oh.
Nice. I was planning on talking about during this episode, but I think I might kick that forward. At least the bulk of it, I'm going to kick it forward, just because I want to have some time to talk about other stuff. But so I got to Bangkok. I had an interesting flight. It was very delayed, and my asthma decided to go to 11.
Eat you.
So
Thanks.
yeah, it was miserable. But I think one major thing. So the way it was set up, I spent half the trip in Bangkok, half the trip in Phuket, which is like a city on the coast, like a big beach city. And while I was there, not
Great city names from Thailand. Thanks, Thailand, for Phuket and Bangkok.
I think it's pronounced like Phuket, like in Thai, like PH is just P. But yeah, it's not great, not great at all. Oddly enough, I did some research for flying, and apparently the city that is most known for the trade of things that is legal in Vegas is Pattaya, which is in no way related to any of the other. You'd think that Phuket and Bangkok would, and they have trade which is legal in Vegas. But the big one's apparently Pattaya. I did my research before going to the city because I didn't want to get jumped.
Yeah, to make sure to know where to go.
Yeah. But so while I was there, I don't want to sound like the kind I just had some spark of inspiration that dictated my life. Message came from the heavens to tell me to open my third eye, but I think. But
it did.
Well, no. So because I think so I don't believe in that kind of stuff, but I think that I've crystallized something. Because for those of you who don't know, my career goal is to go into development economics. That's what I want to do as a career. But I wasn't sure what field to go into. In development economics, there's a bunch of different fields. For example, my dad's a development economist. He works in agriculture. That's this realm he works with. People who work in water treatment, who work in it's market building. There's all these different fields within development economics. So I think I might want to go into looking at refugee development economics because outside our hotel, so there's this guy making street food, a street food dude, right? And he's making pancakes, and we're all right, let's get some pancakes. So we get down, we sit down, and my dad mentioned something to me in Bengali. And so the guy asked, "Oh, you guys from Bangladesh?" And my dad was like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Rohingya, right?" For those who don't know, the Rohingya are a population of people that are, according to Myanmar, not being ethnically cleansed, but probably are from Myanmar.
Yeah, definitely not being ethnically cleansed. They're just kind of being,
they're playing Nerf.
They're just chilling.
Nerf. One-way Nerf.
Nerf, yeah.
Yeah, one-way Nerf. Definitely
nothing,
not by someone who won the Nobel Peace Prize. If you don't know, look it up. It's a lot of stuff. But so we met him, and after talking, it's one of those things where about something's happening, but you don't really know. You don't know it, you don't understand it. So he was talking about his whole experience and how he ended up in Thailand, and he was telling us about his family, right? And I didn't understand what he was saying because brief background. My family, at least my dad's side, is from the south of Bangladesh, and that's at the border with Burma. That's where a lot of the Rohingya people are going. And there's a local language called Chatkaya, which is related to the Rohingya language, and my dad speaks because he grew up speaking it. It's a fusion of Bengali, and I think the language in the region is called Arkan. So it's a fusion of those two languages. And so my dad was talking with him, and I had no idea what he was saying. But when I looked into his eyes, and I saw he was smiling, but he looked so sad. He looked really sad. It's hard to articulate, but I just I felt something in me that I just felt this is something I want to do. This is at least where I am now, I can see myself working to help people like this. Because it was because I think he does have a passport because people from that region are denied passports by the Burmese government because they think they're illegal aliens, which they're not. But yeah,
kind of from there, bro.
Yeah. They're that state is part of Burma. It is a state in Burma, and I think just hearing about what he went through and the way he talked about it, I don't know. I'll think about it more and maybe write a blog post about it, but I just feel something in that moment told me I'm putting myself in a position where I can do something about this. Besides just throwing money at a campaign, but I'm putting through my career path, I'm putting myself
usually terrible anyway.
like I'm putting myself in a position where I can actually do something about this, and it's something I've cared about before. Like I have a track record of caring about this. There was a thing I did on campus, which I'm not going to go into because I'd rather not, but like nothing bad, but just as like last semester, no, 2 semesters ago now, I was this whole thing, and like I was involved with
first
that.
semester.
Yeah, and I've been like so this is a cause I cared about for a long time, but I didn't really know it until I met someone who wasn't even like in a camp. He was just all things that are doing very well, but just hearing parts of his story, hearing what he's been through, and hearing just seeing him, like I just really felt it. And so I think tentatively that I think has given me a direction to go into, which I think is always nice. Like I like having directions. It might change, who knows? But for now, that's kind of my choice, my path that I've chosen. And I think I might talk more about that when I give a more detailed overview of Thailand, because I think that'll be a good segment. Because we're on time crunch. So continuing, I got back from Thailand, which was a lovely trip. I got a tan and snorkeled, among other things. I also fell off a jet ski with my glasses on. But
Yikes.
Yeah,
those are expensive.
Yep, I know. I still have my glasses. I just like slapped my face to hold them on when I fell off.
It's just like instinct now.
Yeah, because I flipped a kayak before with my glasses on, and so like I've used to it. I was prepared, but so I got back, and then my uncle, who lives in Bangladesh, and my wonderful little cousins came to visit. And I had a great time with them. It was nice. I got them Nerf guns. And for context, I gave a 4-year-old who just had like 3 candy canes and some coffee. Apparently he likes black coffee at the age of 4, which is,
that's impressive.
Ups. Yeah, ups, big ups. Speaking of coffee, I got some really nice coffee from like a shop in Thailand, which I'm hopefully going to bring back to campus.
Was that the one that was right by your hotel?
Yes, that I didn't realize until the day I left Bangkok.
Yes.
Yeah, got some really good coffee from there. But yeah, so I gave him, he had coffee, he had candy, and he had a brand new Nerf gun. It was havoc. It was scary.
What else could a 4-year-old want?
He's a beast. The funny thing was, he wasn't strong enough to cock it, and so he'd run at me, ask me to cock it for him, and then run back and shoot me. And so this kind of happened for a little while until I dug up one of my old ones. Like I went up into like my storage unit on our roof, like on like our, like we have a rooftop terrace on our apartment building, and so there is a we have a storage unit up there. So I went up there and dug out one of my old ones, and so he was able to cock that, and after that he was a demon. But yeah, that was good. I dropped them off at the airport today. Very sad. Very nice seeing them, because I think they're my only first cousins on my mom's side. And there's this thing in Bengali culture, I think it's in South Asian culture in general, where there's no distinction between siblings and cousins. And to an extent, like, I feel the distinction most of the time. Like, I'm like, oh, this is my cousin, not my sibling, even though the words are the same. But I think in their case, like, they really do just feel like younger siblings, like more so than my other younger cousins. If you guys are listening, I love all of you equally. You're all great. I know all your names. I'm looking forward to seeing you at some point. Any of my 60-something cousins. Yes. I'm not kidding. I have 60-some cousins.
Yeah, I've heard about that before.
Yes. So, yeah, that's been it. It's been good. Practicing for auditions, doing internship applications and stuff for the summer. Not surprised I'm applying to the UNHCR now, because why not? They'll only have one position that accepts undergrads, so like one office. So yeah. So I think that about wraps up my discussion avenue segment. Right on time. Right on time to transition to yours, Alex, because we're aiming for a certain length for this episode.
Well, that was one eventful winter break kind of recap for you.
Yeah. And
Wouldn't
Thailand
have expected anything
more.
less. Well, okay. After final season, let's see. Mine was on the same. Oh my god. I just had a cold, and I'm like, yesterday I had completely recovered from the cold, but now today it's like,
and then it rebounded.
Cold's revenge. So now my nose is just kind of being stupid.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm fine though.
Happens.
And it's one of those stupid kid colds, but I'll get into that. So, let's see. My finals ended on the same day as yours. It was December 17th, a Tuesday. And that was fun in itself because of our very fun roommate situation that I love dealing with every
Once
part of.
Once it's over, we're going to talk about it. But for now,
now we have to keep doing
troubles.
this.
We'll borrow
the troubles
from Ireland. The troubles.
The troubles were existing. Yeah, that's the proper. Yeah,
troubles were going down.
They were kind of like happening, and I wasn't really, vibing with that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I left for my brother's house after dinner.
Turn on Sleepdrunk. Alex is sniffly.
God, these nipples. All right. God, are there games on your phone? Mother.
You think I've been dealing with that for the past almost 10 days?
Any games in your phone? All right, now that I think I finally got that down. So I left for my brother's house, which is slightly closer to the school, despite being halfway between me and it. It's not a very direct route.
Yeah.
On Monday the 16th after dinner. So I went up there, and he has to work like basically every day, which is ridiculous, but that's a whole nother thing. So I actually was getting up at about the same time as he was, which is early as hell.
As you do.
Yeah, and I left, and I went, and I stopped at a Mickey D's, and I saw the only thing that can make people actually go 25 in a school zone, which is a trooper and his hat full of authority. And then I was in morning traffic on 66 and got to school, albeit rather early, and had my exam, and I didn't even set foot in our building. So that was really fun.
Didn't you? Because didn't we have like breakfast? No, that was like the week before, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the week before on Wednesday. And well, yeah, this one I went and just sat at the JC. And then I went to take my exam, and then I headed out. I'm trying to think if I had a meeting after that, but I didn't this time. No. So, yeah, hopped in the car after that and came home. So that was a long day. And a couple days later, I had to work with my mom to, say something. I don't think I told any of you guys this yet because, Michael just kind of being an idiot. But I worked with my mom to get her to call the school, call the university, that is the housing department, to discuss the troubles and be like, yo, really get this man out. And she did that eventually, and the person she spoke to was sort of helpful, and they gave her a list of people to send an email to and sort of what to say. Okay. And then they're all like, okay, that's helpful, but you need to send it to the one person, which is
super duper person.
The super duper person for our air quotes neighborhood in the school. Okay. And I'd already spoken to her and had a meeting. But I think coming from a concerned parent, that sort of, I don't know, I guess made her care a little bit more. And after that, we kind of, blasted her for like not doing anything about not two direct threats of violence from the troubles. So she kind of gave us a lame ass little, I'm sorry I didn't do anything. It's like, well, okay. And the only reason we had to do that is because Michael had the opportunity to get him moved out immediately, but did not take that opportunity. It's like, why would you not do that? Because I'm the one that's paying thousands of dollars to live with the troubles, and I don't want to do that. I don't feel safe. Yes. So now he is expected to be out of there at the latest January 20th. Okay. So I shouldn't have to see him again.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. I was one aware of this. Okay. So the troubles, I'm not saying they've been resolved. I don't want to call them resolved until it's fully
until it
resolved,
actually happens, because you never really know.
Yes, because things happen. But a future episode topic: the troubles / how to deal with subpar roommates, troublesome subpar roommates. So yeah. That's a lot. That is good though. Good to hear. Good to hear. Interesting actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
My mom was talking about sending an email, but I just told her it probably wouldn't be worth it because like this was a while ago. This wasn't like during the big escalation of the troubles. But I see, because I always thought that like the universities are really hands off with parents. Like, remember hearing stories about how like parents want to see grades and stuff. But I guess that's FERPA.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised that they actually did bother to listen to my mom. I just think they would. I just figured at the very least, her being concerned and sending an email from her personal account would show that she was really concerned about the situation as well.
And to be fair, I think there was a string of communications. Like, it wasn't just like out of nowhere as your mom was. I think almost all of us.
Oh no, yeah,
sent
I
emails.
had been meeting with the person in charge. I had sent emails back and forth with her all the time. yeah, I had been on them about this.
Yeah. So I think it's the fact that they got involved, I think that's good. That is good. So hopefully this is resolved and this can be an episode topic come a couple of weeks.
So went and bulled with the boys a little bit more. The boys have been not very chill. They've been kind of like
Less chill.
very inactive because now Ryan's had his girlfriend that he's just been completely devoting all of his time and energy to for a while now, other than work, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, but
it
at least try.
It sucks.
And then Jared has the same now. He's
gotten tied down
in a new relationship, and he spends all of his time out of town.
Wow, really? Damn. It's like quasi long
he's
distance.
Just kind of never here. Yes, but they both go to the same school this time.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's like they met at school and then like break.
Yeah. So over break, he just goes there all the time.
Yeah.
But I haven't really seen them at all over break, really, and that's not fun. I've been rather bored, but it is what it is. And then we always do this weird little thing because my mom at her work, right? The thing is, they're not supposed to allow you to work Christmas Eve every year.
Yeah.
Because people have kids and stuff, so like you want to be with your kids. My mom's like,
Christmas
okay,
Eve.
well, my kids are grown now, so she just kind of does work Christmas Eve every year. She has done that for the past probably 10 plus years.
Damn.
And like there were some years as a kid where we would just be told to wait, and then she would come home tired as crap on Christmas morning late, and then we'd all be sitting there waiting to open our stuff. So but anymore it's just like whatever. We just have Christmas a few days early, which is fine with me. So in order to make it work with my brother, who is literally working all the time, we went up and did it one night at his house and got pizza, which was like probably some of the best pizza I've ever had out of this random town in Virginia in the middle of nowhere that he lives in. But like all the ingredients were super fresh, and it was just like it's a really good pizza. But
great.
Anyway, I got some sick ass things for Christmas. Got me a drill that I'd been waiting on forever. Just a power tools in general. I got me a Dremel, which I got me a nice Dremel set, so I should be able to do all kinds of personal projects with that. I finally have a heat gun of my own, so I can use heat shrink tubing properly instead of a Bic lighter. No, hair dryers don't work. I've tried that multiple times.
Really?
They don't get hot enough.
Yeah, fair.
But instead of using a Bic lighter in an apartment building, which is probably not the smartest thing, given that they can very easily burn the heat shrink tubing if you're not extremely careful.
And if our university housing department is listening, we do not have anything flammable. We don't have any Nerf guns. We have everything we have is in accordance with housing policy.
Yes, exactly.
That is an official statement.
Legal at Sleepdrunk, probably.
Yes,
I don't know.
legal at sleepdrunk.net.
So, I got that now. Also, I'll get to that later. I guess I do have a fair bit of things to talk about. Not probably as interesting as yours, but, it's there. Yeah. So, anyway, what else did I get? I'm trying to think of all the things that I got. I got a new mug that is very large for holding lots of liquid, because I've been drinking lots of hot drinks again. I'm back on that tea craze.
Okay.
Twinings English Breakfast is
is winter.
The only black tea. Don't at me.
Oof. I mean, it is winter.
I suppose, yeah. Also, I've just been drinking like hot black coffee all the time because I can't be bothered to buy a cold brew bag.
Coffee gang.
But yeah, my mom is very surprised that I've started drinking black coffee.
That's fair. I mean, I think my mom was
She's like, she doesn't drink it.
Yeah, because both my parents don't drink black.
My dad does.
Okay.
My dad actually drinks some pretty decent coffee, all things considered. Not like your level of going out of the way to get really nice coffee, but yeah. Just like I drink coffee every day level.
Yeah. It's like you don't want to drink crap, basically.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I got. I don't know. I got a lot of things, which is very nice. Thank you, parents, for being great. And then we went back to Ohio, which is where basically all of my family's from, except for the ones that aren't. And, we have our Christmas get-togethers and stuff back there. It was pretty chill. On the way there in the car, my dad was driving and he bothers the living crap. Yeah, I don't feel like bleeping stuff.
The living
heck. To avoid it. The living heck out of me when he drives, because he keeps like, I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but basically I was just like, what can I do to avoid looking at the road? And I've been thinking about buying a digital radio forever, so I was just kind of shopping for those. And if you haven't heard me say this a million times on here, I'm a licensed radio amateur, and I'm really into the hobby. I don't do a whole lot with it, but
it's a hobby.
Yeah, it's a thing that I enjoy doing. And I actually did, while I was back there, buy a new DMR radio. I chose DMR because, I ain't trying to buy some several $100 ICOM or Yaesu radio that has D-Star or Yaesu Fusion. And also DMR because, albeit it's very, very uncommon, but there are some things that I want to scan that use DMR. For instance, where my brother lives, the police there actually use DMR, which is something I've never seen anywhere else. But yeah, so I ended up getting the BTEC DMR 6X2, which is based on the Anytone ones. I'm not sure which one, but Anytone has two that are very well known, the D868 UV and the D878 UV, both of which I would probably recommend. And not that I wouldn't recommend this one, but they seem to have better support and they get updates more frequently.
Okay.
But this one is from BTEC, and I've bought stuff from them before, and I know that they're, quality. But the really stupid thing that I was talking about earlier that I'm proud of is the fact that I've made this one sound like a Motorola radio when you key up.
Okay.
Listen to this. Wait, my volume all the way down.
Huh.
I don't know why, that's just really satisfying to me.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah. But the great thing about DMR is that you can send... it's digital mode, so it sounds great, but you can send, messages and stuff, and people have linked it to the APRS system, which is... That's a whole different story within itself. But basically, there are extensions to the APRS network that include SMS Gate, which is a way to send SMS messages from your radio, which is super sick because it's sort of built into this radio. It's cool. It's like typing a text message on a flip phone. Okay. And it's sending it, except you're doing that over ham radio. Okay. So I can just kind of roll out to literally anywhere that doesn't have cell coverage and just sort of type up a text on my radio and send it. And I've already been looking at ones out at James River State Park, which is a place that we vacation frequently. And there is no cell service with AT&T out there, unfortunately. So I know that I can hit a certain, repeaters that are on a certain mountain. And there happens to be a DMR internet-connected one out there that I can send texts through. So, we're not completely excluded from the outside world right now.
That's also good, from an emergency preparedness perspective, too.
Yeah, getting a hold of someone and being like, yo, you should call an ambulance to come out to James River State Park because we can't do that.
Because we were attacked by a bear or flipped a kayak. Maybe.
Actually,
and broke a leg.
Really close to James River State Park, we've had a bear just kind of run across the road in front of our car, which is interesting.
That happened to me.
It's like a deer, but it was a bear.
That happened to me in Tennessee, except it was a family of bears. It was a mom bear and two cubs and just kind of ran next to our car.
Yeah, this one was just one black bear just chilling. Yeah. But anyway, that's sick. I'm really happy with this radio. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, work. So I have a new client that's it's someone I know vaguely, I guess. He works with my dad. Okay. But it's nice because basically because of that, I've been fortunate enough to not have to go work at
the restaurant.
The restaurant that I usually work at over winter break, and I probably won't ever go back there, which is awesome because, to be honest, I really was getting fed up with that place.
Fair.
And really thankful for that. An extension to what I was saying earlier with my tools, I actually went out and ended up buying a toolbox. Okay. Which is not like a conventional toolbox, but I got a mobile one, which is actually perfect for my use case. It's the Craftsman Versa Stack set. Excuse me. And I have now a convenient place to put all of my new power tools and tools that I've had and DIY electronics and just sort of all that, and keep it in one place and not have it spread out all over my room. And in crates. Literally, I kept all my stuff in crates.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's about it. I haven't really done anything new with my guitar.
Okay.
Just looking at it here. I've sort of been getting good at the roundabout intro because that's about the only thing I've been doing with it because I couldn't really be bothered to learn any new songs.
Yeah. I think on my front, just if I want to do a quick guitar update while we're out here, I've been borrowing my brother's guitar. So my guitar is in the States because I didn't want to bring a saxophone and a guitar on a plane because that's just asking for trouble. But
yeah, this is really extra.
Just because my brother has 3 guitars, so I have been using his interchangeably. He has a really, really crappy off-brand Indian acoustic guitar. Cost him $30 on Amazon. It's not great,
wonderful,
but it holds 6 strings. It maintains 6 strings and has a body. So it is playable.
I think the bare minimum to do that is a plastic bag, and at least this is a guitar.
Yes, at least there's wood. There was wood here. It is painted. But so
and it makes noise, like the right noise sometimes.
Yes. Then he also has so I'm his guitar, I don't know the exact model. And then he also has an Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro. I think that's the model. It's really nice. And so I've been playing on those. I've been learning some jazz chords, which has been fun. I've been playing more saxophone. I haven't been playing as much, especially when my family was over, like my cousins, just because whenever you have family over and you play a flashy instrument, like especially saxophones, which are most people, like it's not a very common instrument to hear, you tend to become a showpiece, and I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
so I didn't practice
that's why I didn't really want to bring mine back to Ohio, because everybody's gonna be like, play your guitar. I'm like, okay, I don't really know anything.
Yeah. It's like people do that, like for my brother, do this for his guitars, and then when they see like, oh, hey, a big shiny metal tube, I wonder how it works, make it work. And then, like, they don't give you any time to warm up or get in tune or find a nice backing track, and they wonder why you sound smile and nod worthy. Yeah. See, because saxophones require they need some time to rev up, right? Like, even professionals, they need at least 5 minutes to rev up, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe you don't need that with a guitar, but I do, so.
Yeah, but just like the instrument has to physically heat up.
Oh, yeah.
So generally when instruments are cold, they tune flat, meaning they tune low, and when they're hot, they tune high. And so when you take it out of the case, it's cold. So you need to physically heat it up a little bit to get it in tune. You gotta get your face warmed up. You gotta get your hands going.
Right, like it's
a lot of stuff.
It's an exercise, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been practicing as much, but I have an audition in 11 days, and I've decided to play alto on it instead of tenor at the last minute because the alto part, it's not easier, but it's easier for me. It's something I can play more easily. Like, it works better in my brain. And so I have to relearn the part in alto, which is going to be fun. Yeah. So one last thing before we wrap up the show. We're making another show change. We'll talk about it more later. But we're going to try switching to shorter episodes more frequently. Because the whole 2 bi-weekly thing kind of failed horribly a little bit. Especially in like October.
Because we just sort of like became too lenient. And like, especially me, I don't know. I was just getting really lazy with editing.
Yeah. So it's
mostly because, especially after 2 weeks, you kind of forget that, like, hey, it actually isn't a whole ton of work.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
It seems like a lot of work at face value, and it can turn into that when the episodes are sort of long. But maybe even with a busy schedule, knowing that you only have to go edit a shorter
minutes.
episode, like 40 minutes or so. Knowing that that's all you really have to do, and once a week, that should be more doable.
Yeah. So going forward, that's going to be our strategy. Look forward to
also
it.
Bleeping with the 100 hertz or the 1000 hertz tone instead of a song is so much easier.
Yeah, we're gonna song of the day on hold for now. Permanent long-term hiatus for now. Who knows? We might bring it back if it's heavily requested, but doesn't seem like it will be. So yeah, for now, regular bleeping. I guess that does it. That about does it. So that's it.
Yeah, so thank you for listening to the Sleepdrunk Podcast. As per usual, the Sleepdrunk Podcast can be found on any of your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and more.
And don't forget to share the show. We really appreciate it, especially when we're making new changes, doing all sorts of things going into the new year. Make your New Year's resolution to share Sleepdrunk. Yeah, I think New Year's resolutions are BS, and I'm a yearly theme person, but we can talk about that next episode, which we will see you in next week.
Yep. All right. See you next week?
I mean, we're going back to weekly.
Are we do?
Next week? Yeah. See you next week.
Yep. Next week. Smooth outros. Those are fun.
It's very smooth.